Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I almost said streaming. I am recording a video today of the top 10 games that I streamed in 2023 because I thought that was interesting to look at, and I have some rules for how I did this. The game couldn't be too old, so that means that Star Sector, RimWorld, and Dwarf Fortress couldn't be on the list. I'm sure they're on everyone else's list. Those are great games. That's why I needed a picture when I started streaming, and I'm just winging this. The other rule is I had to have streamed it in 2023, so I may have first streamed it in 2022, but I had to have streamed it in 2023. And the final rule, this is the first one of these I've done, and I'm just kind of winging it, like always, is it can never be on the list again. So this is a one-time thing, and we're just going to go over their Steam page because I felt like that was the easiest thing to do, and I'm fucking lazy. So here we go. The first one, we're going to close this one. The first one at number 10 here is Star Traders Frontier. And the reason I like this game so much, and we can go over, look at these pictures together. The reason I like this game so much is because it paints like an interesting picture of like the world that exists. Like the world building is very good, and it's like a mind picture. I always call it that. And I'm going to say that a lot. I'm also going to try to like go through these kind of fast. I want this video to be like 10 minutes, not my normal 3 hours. It creates like a really good picture of the world in my mind, and I love that games that create these mind pictures. So the plot of this game, I probably should have started with that, is that you're like a space captain working for like an imperial house, kind of like Dune. Think Dune. There's two different types of combat. There's this type of combat, which is, you would know from like Darkest Dungeon, and then there's space combat, which is like this, which is somewhat similar to that but different. It's really great. You should check it out. Trying to think. It's got trading, obviously. The trading is one of the best parts of it. I'm always looking for games that you can trade resources. You can go to a planet, buy cargo, and then go to a different planet and sell it for a profit. Like, I love that shit. So yeah, Star Traders Frontier is number 10. Number 9 is Rise. Oh, is this was somebody streaming? No, I got rid of him. Okay. Rise of the White Sun. This is a weird game. This is a 4X game that takes place in 1920 China, and you can pick a ton of different factions. I wonder if he's got a picture on here of here's some of them. So you can be like a warlord in China, and once again, back to the mind picture as I'm playing it. So it's 4X game, so you're supposed to be taking over this stuff, and you just get this weird picture of 1920s China with communism coming up, these different warlords who've started in different areas. It is pretty incredible how bizarre it is, but also how well it works out. You can build up your cities, you can do, hire troops, all sorts of crazy shit. There's all these different people in it. There's also, wow, there's 25 screenshots on here. There's also like different playthroughs. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of one. It's probably back on that thing I looked at before. Different playthroughs are going to be completely different. And what I mean by that is that if you pick a different start, you're going to have a completely different game. So this is like this is the overall map, but it's on here. If you pick Communist China, you're going to start out in the city, and you're going to start developing communism through this city, even though the real map is this, not that one, is this crazy thing. This game is crazy, and it's the developer is still working on it, so it's not like it's a dead game, like dead, done. I shouldn't call them dead games. It's not like it's done and it's over. He's still working on it. He's still adding refinements and stuff. It's pretty impressive. So that was number 9. Number 8 is Cosmoteer. This is a spaceship building game where you build a spaceship and you fly around and you blow shit up. The reason I like this spaceship building game, because I streamed Stardews last night. The reason I like this one so much is because it's really simple to build the spaceships. You just like plug shit in, your little workers run around and do stuff. You don't care about how they feel like in most games. You can build these crazy ships. It has multiplayer. You can paint them if you want. I never do that, but you can. It's got the whole space thing. It is also in active development. Star Traders, I didn't mention this. I believe it's Star Traders is pretty much done. They do an occasional update. This is an active development. I played it with friends. I've streamed it a bunch of times. It's actually on my list to stream again, like very soon. It has different factions that you can fight for. It is a little on the light side with the content still, but it's really fun. That's the key is it's so simple to just jump in and start fighting and update your ship. You look at these little guys running around. That's your crew. Love it. Next one. Shadows of Forbidden Gods. Back to the mind picture that I love so much. If you look at this, you're like, this is just a bunch of hexes with lines. What the fuck is going on here? Well, it's actually, the plot of this is that you're like an evil god who has these minions that you send out to take over the world for you. And eventually you're going to break free. You're like locked in a some kind of vault for the time being, but you're going to eventually break free, but your minions have to get the ground ready for you to appear. And so you need to take over like these different sections. And like right here, this darkness is like the darkness that your agents is spreading. And the thing so once again, the mind picture of this game, like in my mind, I can imagine all these are the different agents. These are unique agents that you can get. And this is like one of your agents, the Cursed. So like in there, that's the cursed person right there. You move them around on this hex. So like, let's say if you moved into this city, the kingdom of Esterez, whatever it's called. Let's say you moved into there. You would have all these things that you can do that are over on the side. And the way it is like, it's not like you're actually sneaking around the dark. Well, it kind of is. But it's also like you're kind of out in the open and like talking with the royalty. And that's where like I get this mind picture is like, you're kind of like some noble, and they know that you're cruising around doing this. But the more that they think that you're like this dark agent, the more like, the stress they are. And then they start trying to stop you and kill you, and you can kill them. And it's another one that like this picture of this corruption that you're helping spread is great. And there's different gods you can play. I think it's still in development too. I didn't look for this one. I've played this one a shit ton of times. Next, we're getting away from like 4X. That's like a 4X too. Quasimorph. This game's fucking amazing. It's a roguelike. And basically, you are a ship's captain. You land. Your cloned soldiers get missions to go get stuff. And it's kind of like an extraction shooter where you get gear and they got to survive to get back. But if they die, it's not the end of the world. You just lose their gear, but you still have another clone you can pop out of them. Well, I guess it is it makes me sad when they die because I start getting attached, especially if they had that good of equipment. But there's also some sort of like devil thing that is happening on each of the, I don't know on every planet. I think it might just be on Venus, where they like these demons pop out of corpses and you got to fight the demons. It is pretty good. It is an early access though, so expect some early access weirdness. They are definitely doing regular updates. In fact, I haven't played it since I read their most recent update, and I was like, holy shit, they did all this different stuff. I was blown away by the changes, and I haven't even played them yet, and I'm hoping to stream it sometime soon. I actually had other roguelikes on my list, and this one, because it's somewhat new, and it actually kind of bumped the other ones off, which surprised me. But it's great as well. It's just, if you want like a roguelike with guns, this is the one by far. You also can like manufacture shit and craft stuff. Next on the list, Star Valor. This is number 5. Star Valor is once again another, so like think of Cosmoteer, except you don't build your ship in the same way of Cosmoteer like I was talking about. This is, you buy a ship, you add all these different parts to it, and then you fly around and you shoot the shit out of stuff. Or you can mine. Here's the mining thing. I've streamed mining runs where I just mine most of the time, and I've streamed where I just go out and ram people. You can ram people. It's great. So the thing that I think that, and it's funny, I was playing this, not streaming it, and one day, and just like a bunch of my friends started messaging me like, what game are you playing? I've never seen that game. And even though I've streamed it a bunch of times, And so then they got it, and they also thought it was really good. So this is like how the different equipment you equip. Unlike Cosmoteer, where you build them onto the actual ship, you just attach them in here. And I think one of the best parts about this game is that when you first play it, you're like, oh, I get this. You just fly around and shoot shit. But as you get farther and farther, you add in these different like things like this cloaking device, and it completely changes the game around so that you don't get bored with it. And you can keep adding. You can have fleets with you. That's in this picture. This guy's got a bunch of fleets. Obviously, the developer this ship's pretty badass actually. Um, it's called Rising Sun. And there's like these bosses. Like it's pretty like definitely if you want to fly around and shoot shit. This is another one that you should check out. All right. We are on. Oh, my phone went to sleep. I was using my phone to know what number here. 4. Path of Achra. So I like this game so much that it inspired me to start making my own video game. I have a whole nother channel where I stream stuff. And not this game, but a different game. But I actually started working on a video game because of this game. The plot of this game is you're like a dude. It's kind of like it's a roguelike. You're a dude that is running around just killing everything on the screen, and it has all these. So the whole thing about this game is it's complicated builds. Like you get these synergies. Like your guy might get better attacks if you do. If you take this fire thing and then you find a fire weapon and then there's some fire stuff right there. And you find all these synergies. And so you'll find a weapon that will do the fire damage in one square around you. And then you'll take this ability that does, doubles the damage or whatever, or makes it go 2 squares or whatever. And then, like one is if you summon someone and it dies, it gives you more fire damage or whatever. And at first, when I first started playing this, I was less like, oh my God, fuck this game. This game sucks. Because I was like the synergies were so like, oh my, they're so complicated and there's so many of them. But then after like I played like a couple of battles, I was like, kind of want to do another one and see if I could get a little farther. And then pretty soon I was totally addicted. I was just like, man, that build sucked. But this next build, I know what I did wrong. And then like I'll get some different weapon and I'll just be like, oh, this weapon destroys this build, but I'm going to change my whole build around midway. And it's like, it's really amazing. This also has had a bunch of updates since I last played it, so I need to play it again. But I'm sure that it's still great. You like pick where you fight and stuff. It's very fast paced. If you want fast paced, this is it. These are the different cultures. That's the other thing this is back to the mind picture thing. Is like you pick these different cultures and then their class and their religion. And then it like paints this picture in my head of what's going on. And then you just go out there and you fucking kill and kill. It's great. Murder is great. I don't know if it's murder. There's some sort of creature. What is this? Must be new. Learn something new every day. All right, let's go on to the next one. I want to keep rolling. The Doors of Trithius is number 3. This is another roguelike. I had like 3. No, I guess not in a row. Almost 3 in a row. This is another roguelike that I really like. You are like a mercenary, and I guess you're a mercenary. You're a dude that starts out, and there's a world map. You got to finish the first map first. But the reason I really like this game is because of this right here. The skills. It has these masteries and skills, and you don't start out with all of them, but if you want at the beginning, you can pick that, like, how to read, and then you find books, and you can, you know how to cook, and there's quarter mastery, and you, as you use those skills, they go up. It's like Bethesda style or Skyrim style, and I really like that, and it works really well with this game. So you get these different skills, you go in, and I've never even seen this map. I die a lot. I get sidetracked and mentally sidetracked in roguelikes, and then I get killed, and then I just feel sad. But yeah, you like run around, you kill a bunch of guys. There's different maps. There's a whole world map, which was over here. Let's go back to this. And so you can go to these different towns and do different things. It's pretty standard, but it's really well done roguelike. This is like this and I almost called it Quadrophenia. Quasimorph are games that I play when I'm not streaming too, and it's just like they're fun to like jump into. There's different builds, different classes, the whole thing. Next is Songs of Six. This, I think everyone has heard of this game at this point, but I love this game. This is a colony builder where you just have like a bazillion people and they actually have needs. So you have like, 500 people in your city. This is an actual city somebody made, the developer made, obviously. That's a person. Each one of these is a person in your thing, and they run around. And this is a graveyard, it looks like to me. Yep, it's a graveyard. So you build up this city. There's a whole world map that I'm sure there's a picture of in here somewhere. Oh, there was a battle. You can have big battles. Look at that city, man. Okay, here's the world map. You pick an area, and so it's kind of like a 4X too, a little bit. But you pick an area like this person picked right there, and it has the different resources. So this is back to my trading love too. You got the different resources, so you could pick like this wooded area, and I highly recommend, if you're gonna start fresh the first time, pick a wooded area. Jesus Christ, it's so hard without wood. Pick a wooded area, and you build up your little colony, and it starts expanding. You need to get laws in place. You need to have the different types of people. There's different races, but they're not the standard fantasy races. Trying to find let's see a screenshot here. I had planned this stream like a week ago. That's not a stream. This video like a week ago. But then I didn't get around to doing it. And I looked at this stuff, and now I can't remember. Well, it doesn't matter. There are, I think, 5 different races. There's like some insect people. There's some pig people, and you can just build it with certain people. Like this. So this whoever the developer, when he made this picture, he actually grew and built each one of these buildings, and so like. You need housing for everybody. So it's a basic colony game, but it has so many, you have such population, and there's so much going on. Like you can build like the craziest cities. I love the beginning of games, so I often restart when I don't need to. You can have cannibals if you want. There's a whole like an elf race. They're like cannibal elves. Like look at this. He's got all these farms and stuff. He's got different stuff. Yeah, if you want to check out a colony game that you haven't, if you're tired of playing RimWorld and you want to have 5,000 or 500, 1,000 people, check out Songs of Six. It is really good. It came out in 2020. Just pretend you didn't see that, and I didn't say anything about it. All right, number 1 is the Monster Breeder. So the reason I love this game so much is it makes me feel like a kid when I'm playing it. Like back when I was a kid and playing video games, I like had this enjoyment of like not knowing what was next, and like they were much simpler 30 years ago, 35 years ago when I was a kid, and this game is not, but they were simpler looking. I don't know how to describe it. They were simpler but also had these crazy mechanics, and this game has the craziest mechanics, and so this is a gladiator game. You have monsters or humans that fight in an arena, and it's a turn-based combat, and you can breed the monsters and magically interbreed weird creatures. So this is a vulture crab egg that he's got in there, and he's got a hunter bug. Those are pretty standard for the game, but he's got weird stuff, and so the graphics aren't that great. That's what everyone complains about. But after I played it for a while, I actually started to like the graphics. So he's doing like a whole graphical redo. The Songs of Six guy is still working on Songs of Six, by the way. He's doing a whole graphical redo, but I've actually grown to like the graphics, and I have this, I say this every time I stream too, this headcanon where in this world, the people are originally from Earth, but they haven't been there in so long, they don't know what a bear actually looks like, so they call this thing a bear, because that's what that is in this game. And so like it all makes sense later, but you can have like all these different battles. Then I said earlier that it was simple, but it is not simple at all. It has crazy amounts of stats and stuff. I wonder if there's a picture of the stat page. And here's like some of their stats. Here's some monsters, and this is like a one you can buy. You can also find them. There's events, there's all these potions, there's runes. You can chop your animals up and take out their organs and put them in other animals. You have this build, so like this is part of the thing back when I was a kid, like looking at a building like this. So you build up like your courtyard and stuff, and your keep for so that you have more places for animals, and they need incubators, and they need like it just reminds me of like that feel of like excitement of like, oh fuck yeah, my monster chamber's done. I wasn't saying fuck yeah when I was 15 or well probably 15, but not when I was like 10. Uh, my monster chamber's done, and like it just fills me with joy to play it. I don't know. You if you're like there's a ton of these like gladiator style games out, and if you are into them, you should check this one out. It is really really fun, and also like you can two-handed sword guy, just and one of the things, like every time I play it, I'm surprised by some game mechanic. So I was gonna go into this battle where my guys were probably gonna die, and the guys were like, "You got to pay me more to go into this fight." And I was like, "How awesome is it that the developer put that in here?" Okay, so he's making a hybrid in here, a vampire worm and a spider, and he's putting in these potions and stuff to combine them, and then they got to hatch, and they have a lifespan, and sometimes it's worth it just to have them die. I don't know. It's so much fun. But that is the top 10, and I should probably go through them again. So 10 was Star Traders Frontiers, 9 was Rise of the White Sun, 8 was Cosmoteer, 7 was Shadows of Forbidden Gods, 6 was Quasimorph, 5 was Star Valor, 4 was Path of Achra, 3 the Doors of Trithius, and 2 Songs of Six, and definitely number 1 the Monster Breeder. When I was going through my list, I put it on, I just made a list of all the games that it could possibly be on there, and I put that one on there, and I put it at the top, and I was like, this one's going to be pretty high at the top, and nothing even came close. I don't know, like I said, it makes me feel like a kid again. And that's it for me. Thank you for checking out my video. I almost said joining me like I was on a stream. Whatever. That's what I'm used to doing. Anyways, that's it. Thanks. And I'll put links and shit I'll do something at some point. All right. Bye.